let's see. One of us can do a monitoring of the chats in your channel. Let's see here. Hey everybody, I know we're live for anybody who's already here. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm gonna put this on mute. Bang. It's so neat. Like you said, it's like you're time shopping with yourself.
Yeah, like you go back in time. My goodness. Okay.
So crazy. All right.
Cool. Okay.
Good. Live on the right, YouTube on the left, and the chats are open and everything for everybody, right? All messages are visible, live chat. Cool. All right. So what lovely territory shall we cover today?
I don't know. I just woke up. So yeah, that's fun.
I'm gonna give you some coffee.
Okay. Thank you.
I got this. This is Case Coffee. This is Honduras. I think there's a Honduras bean in here.
Oh, nice. So did you share the link or did I share the link?
We can both.
Okay.
It looks like Crypto Collector's here. Hey, Crypto Collector.
Hey, I know him.
I do too. He's one of our awesome supporters. He's super active. Okay. Here's the link. Control C. Now I'm going to go over and share it.
But yeah, this is the first time I've done like a live like this. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Alex is here. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Alex. Good to see you here too. Let's see. I'm saying we are here at Dead and Grow Pool Battles. We're gonna have to battle, Amanda.
What are we battling about?
We'll see. We'll pick something to battle about.
Think and Grow is here. I need virtual coffee too. You gotta share, Ray. Your Honduras
Think
coffee.
and Grow. Hello. Well, we got some good company here. Yeah, I just shared.
How are you guys today?
Hey. It's crazy for us to have being conversation and to see where they are in our conversation. That takes some getting used to.
Yeah, it is trippy.
I love your dress, by the way. It's really nice.
Thanks. It's my did I ever tell you about how I hate shopping? Like as a girl, I know that's really strange, but
wow, yeah. Tell me about it.
So shopping gives me a bit of I know anxiety is kind of like a I don't know, what do you call it, like overused these days, but it does actually, like going into a store and being around so many people like just makes me have like that really smelly sweat. It's not the same as like exercise sweat. Exercise sweat doesn't smell. It's like it's the hormones and stuff that you release when you're actually like nervous or scared. That's the stuff that smells,
right? Or like cooped up and like you're not really exercising and moving around much. Yeah, totally.
So like I can totally tell it's that, because when I go into a store and I start getting that, I'm like, I have to get out of here. It's just a combination of being around like just so many people and being overwhelmed with options, I guess. I don't like having so many options. I'll go in and I usually have like an intention to buy something, like, oh, I need to buy my kid something. I need to buy myself a new pants because my pants are ruined or something. I don't know. But then I'll go in there and there's like 1,000 choices and I'm like, I do a U-turn and I leave. So it's like I can't. So what ends up happening is I do online shopping and then I get overwhelmed there too, because I just add everything to my cart and it just sits there because I can't make a decision. And so over the years, this has evolved into my husband doing my shopping for me. So he buys my entire
Wow.
wardrobe. Yeah.
So
So
are you serious? Wow, you know
mhm,
what? That's a real compliment to the relationship. I mean, how often does the husband or the partner know what size
mhm,
you are, what your
mhm.
taste is, what you might like? How long have you guys been together?
Since 2005. So that's, what is that, 15 years now?
It's about
So
15 years.
yeah.
So
So
you guys are out of power struggle too, right? You actually like have fallen into the place where you actually believe that you love each other,
yeah. So I mean, like we've
right?
never really had any real issues. And so yeah, like I mean, when I talk to other people about their relationships or their marriages and stuff, it's interesting the different dynamics that I come across.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure. You heard some of
mhm.
mine last night.
Yeah, yeah,
Whole
last
story
night
in
was good.
itself.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I share the fashion, that whenever I go into these stores by myself, and if I have coffee in my system, forget it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Forget it. Hey, Adam. Alex, it's coming. It's coming. Stay in love. Stay in love. Never give up. That is my recipe for success for all of you who are in relationships, short term or long term. Never stop trying to impress your partner
Hmm.
every day in some little way, whether you're making them laugh, you're looking really good, you're looking sharp, complimenting them, whatever it is, make every day precious, right? I've been in a relationship for 20 years, and it's been amazing. I am more in love with my wife now than I was when I met her. I never saw that coming.
Hmm.
It, long-term relationships are amazing. And I think when people duke it out, they battle it and they really give it everything they've got, and they don't give up on each other too easily, right? You move through those walls and you open up your heart to each other. Oh my God, there's
Hmm.
such mystery, right? There's so much mystery in each of us. Even when we're together for 20 years, there's still stuff we don't know. There's unopened pages in that book of love that we're still writing, and might even write, all the way to the next life, right? So awesome. Hey, Alfred. Hey, good to see you
Hello.
here. Yeah, it's cool. Our Twitter family's here.
Yay.
Super cool. Yeah, my success in fashion comes from me having one or two fashion advisors with me while I'm shopping.
Mm.
They dress me, right? My
Hmm.
wife and one of her friends, maybe. You go into a store, as it's happened recently, go into a store and they're like, oh, this looks good. This looks good. Before you know it, you've got like 10 things on hangers ready to go into the dressing room and try them on. And then, it isn't just the mirror of yourself that you're looking into, it's also their eyes and, and their tastes and stuff. And so, I don't know. It's always been like that for me. I try to have fun, and take my fashion advisor, my daughter. She's an
Yeah.
amazing, amazing fashion advisor. Actually, she's 18 now, and I'm really lucky to have her. Super lucky.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam. I just love being here with all of you guys and give you a chance to meet us and hang out with us. Hey, Lift's in the house.
That's awesome. Yeah, like you guys are welcome to ask us questions if you have questions. I know we're kind of like boring, not talking about anything right now. Um,
All waiting. Transparent transactions waiting to be discovered on the blockchain of the mind. I got
yeah.
a good question. How many chains do you think the mind has? How many blockchains? Do you think each neuron makes its own little chain and they all fork and combinate and hang out together, or what? How does consciousness work? I have a feeling we're not, it's one of the interesting things about technology, right? When we're in the space of making things, right? Each one of us is an artist in some way, right? Life is our canvas. And so we're all making things. When Lambo, right? I think by the time I'm in the position for Lambo, I'm going to be going for some ultra cool, like a Tesla truck.
I was gonna
Um,
say like my style is like all electric. Like
oh my God,
I have a Kia Niro hybrid plug-in, so it's like half
ooh,
battery, half
that's cool.
engine. I convinced my parents to buy a EQC 400. It's a SUV all electric Mercedes,
Ooh, the
so
Mercedes have all electric? I didn't know that.
mhm. Yeah, it's pretty new. It's really nice. I'm driving it around while they're in the hospital. So, um,
Wow.
yeah, my dad, he had foot surgery, and then complications to the foot surgery led to him having a really bad blood infection, like a yeast infection from the blood. So somebody inserted his central catheter because he has bad veins for being old and diabetic.
Right.
So they put in a central line, and whoever did that did
It
it
didn't do it
poorly
right.
because it has a
Okay.
lot of bacteria and fungus growing around that site, and they of course didn't find it. Why would they look there, right? They're trying to figure out where's the source of the infection. They're testing all these things, and he was really sick. As
What are the
and but he
symptoms, if you don't mind me asking? What are the
of
symptoms of this?
the fungus.
Yeah, fungal,
Um,
like an overwhelming fungal infection.
So it depends on the type, right? But this one was basically circulating in the blood, and he was just really weak, spiking fevers all the time. He wasn't really able to walk well, but it wasn't because of foot surgery. His extremities kind of got just really stiff,
Yeah,
and
okay. So
uh,
stiffness, it sounds like,
yeah.
is one of them.
He was also, it's hard to say this one because it's a combination of him plus his medication, but he wasn't lucid, like I would say, like even like it was hard to have a conversation with him. He didn't know where he was, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of
Right.
scary.
And he
Mhm.
came through. He recovered from this, and
Yeah.
he's in a better place now.
Yeah, he should be
Wow.
discharged on Friday. It's Wednesday my time. So Friday.
Oh, that's great. Hey, we have a what do we got here? Kyle, what are y'all's thoughts on there's still being so many saturated pools? Think the
Mhm.
K increase is catching a lot of set and forget it delegators by surprise.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think that there's a lot of people who it's really interesting. It's kind of a double edge, right? In the one sense, there's this confidence that we're seeing from the larger ecosystem, from the larger community of crypto. 64, 65% stake. That's awesome. That's a real confidence from that community that they can come and see ROS and participate in POS, right? And so there is a part of them that's like, Cardano's awesome. I'm just going to drop this over here. I trust my
Mhm.
pool. I trust this community. Bam, right? And then you got a lot of people who are new to it, right? They got introduced by a friend, and someone's like, "Oh, check out this, check out that, and delegate here, and la 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 la." And and if they don't get that reminder and they're super new to the space, they're just not really thinking of it yet, right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing about Cardano. It brings so much fresh, new, good energy to the ecosystem. All kinds of people who don't even know anything about it are getting educated by who,
Yeah.
right? One of the interesting things about stake pools to me is that we end up being a very significant part of the effort of educating and promoting the ecosystem, right, to the larger global community. Where do all these people learn all of this from? It's not just from Cardano stake pool schools or the Cardano forums. It's from stake pool operators promoting their business. Their own
Yeah.
marketing efforts are promoting the ecosystem, right? Um, so that's my answer to that. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah, so I think similar, like there's a lot of people who are stake and forget. And it's kind of crazy that we as stateful operators are responsible for educating the community and the masses. And I don't really think that should fall on us, but it happens to be this way right now. Um, but Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of rocky and wild for a little while until people figure out, oh, why am I not getting what's going on? What's all this new things happening? Um, Unfortunately, I think the stake and forget people aren't going to notice they're not getting their rewards for a while, and the larger pools are going to suffer because of it, because their rewards are going to diminish for a little while until they figure it out. And then it's all going to happen again in March. So it's like fun times.
Yeah, right. And in a way, it's sort of like this is kind of like a dress rehearsal in a sense, right? For something, I think when the community reaches 1,000, assuming that that's somewhere in the vicinity of March of next year, that they are going to, I think that number is going to hang around for a little while, right? We're not going to see it move too much more after that for a little while longer, and see how this infrastructure that are the stateful operators scale and respond to the demands of the network that's going to be rapidly expanding. Just imagine where we're going to be in March.
Yeah.
Right? All these things that we just found out about came out in the latest node release, right? 1.23.0. I was like 250 changes. Wow. And to look at what some of them are, I just got excited honestly from that. I can't wait to see what the monthly update that they're gonna do here. That's probably coming out like already or really soon. Right? Just to see, because those things are so jam-packed. I remember the September update. I was like, holy shit, look at all the activity that's going on in this project and where they all are and how independent and resourceful and efficient all these people are. All right, and how they're actually able to communicate with each other. I saw them in that particular episode. It was interesting watching how Tim and the other one, I forget her name right now, who hosts that show from the one of the arms in there. I saw how they were bringing the groups together, right? Cardano marketing together with IOG, together with Plutus, together with Marlowe, together with some Haskell programmers, and you saw them all jiving, and you saw them all part of this community, and I was just like, wow, that's really. It went to showing me, I'm like, okay, I can trust this community.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Crypto collector. It is going to be a beast. I'm going to have to do my little 10-minute, showdown with it for you guys. So if you don't have the 2.5 hours, you see what happens. So the red ball, should we speculate on whatever that is?
I have no idea.
What do we think the red ball? Well, let's guess. Let's play a little game, maybe even. I wonder if we could play a little game where whoever's watching, whoever can guess what the red ball is some kind of reward for you. We'll think about it through the show. So what do you think? I mean, let's speculate. What could the red ball be?
Whenever I think of like red ball, I think of like Mars. But like, why would the red ball mean Mars?
Well, yeah, there's one. Probably a little out there, but yeah, imagine they're gonna need financial and social systems on Mars.
On Mars, like that's what we're going for right now. Mars needs social systems.
Oh, imagine. We hope so. Something that's very well designed. We're talking like generation 1000 civil engineering.
Well, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, like Mars needs like terraforming first before they need social structures. So.
Well, you know what? But the social is going to happen, right? Because people, I remember when I first heard about people coming over to Mars. 108 is the correct guesser. Yes, Adam. Thank you for that. Yes, I pledge 158 to the correct guesser. Okay, so we'll keep track of this. Alex thinks it's Coinbase on Cardano, not just Cardano on Coinbase, but Coinbase on Cardano. That's big. Coming in, I wouldn't be surprised. They've taken long enough. Saying he will talk about a pond and ocean.
Some feature nobody asked for. That's so true, Swim. That's so true.
Right. So how's everybody feeling about the Daedalus wallet? Has anybody played with the hardware wallet connection yet in flight? What's happening?
Not yet.
I'm curious about people's experience with Daedalus. Daedalus is like, it's one of those projects that I can see it gets better, right? It gets better every time it comes out, and sometimes they break a little something to do it, but overall, I do see it's improving. It's done its damage, right? We all know as stake pool operators that it hasn't always been the fairest to certain portions of the stake pool community. Yeah, me too, crypto collector, playing with Trezor and Ledger. It's awesome. Alfred, it's green. Can't wait to use it. Love Daedalus.
Mm.
Awesome. Yeah,
You
it's
must have
pretty
got, you
cool.
must have got it on the Black Friday sale when it was like 40% off.
Ooh, Black Friday. So did anybody see any like embarrassing videos of people like shopping crazy and doing all the weird stuff that Americans have done in the past on Black Fridays?
Did they not have any sort of restrictions or anything done for all of that? Because I heard crazy things about um, limiting party sizes and things for their Thanksgiving. Like, would they not have done something similar for Black Friday?
Oregon had some bizarre rules that the governor was trying to mandate. The thing that's happening right now is some of these officials are working out of bounds with their power. They don't even know what their power is. They
Yeah.
think they can say that you can only have 6 people in your household for Thanksgiving. Good luck. Good luck. We've got some families that are bigger than that. We've got houses with more than 6 people living in them. How can
Right.
you put some strange number like that around a gathering like that? Come on, give it up. I
Well,
think what needs to happen is
specify
science.
if it
Science
was
needs to happen.
if it was 6 additional people to the household size or 6 people in total.
Yeah. Let's good luck with clarification, right? So what do you mean by this exactly? And for how many hours? When does
Mhm.
this little curfew start and when does it end? And how do
Well,
you
the reason
enforce
why I
it?
ask is because, like, if you already have, say, 6 people who live in the household, obviously they're considered one family unit. And so, if does the rules say that you can only have 6 additional people to the family unit because then you're bringing 6 outside people in, right?
Right.
And that's where the social distancing aspect comes from. But like 6 people in total, like, well, my family is 6 people, so that means I can't have friends over or family over. So,
Right.
that kind of
Yeah.
seems like,
I don't know. I'm very, it's a whole topic, I'm happy to get into it with whoever wants to. I don't want to push it on anybody. Right? We all have our personal opinions about this.
mhm.
Um, what I've been doing with it, honestly, is trying not to be too opinionated.
You see what
Trying to be
Adam wrote?
chill.
Funny. He's like, it doesn't exist. Arizona doesn't have COVID.
You could make a case for that if you pull the numbers out of the CDC and you look at statistics, you can make all kinds of blaring situations and make it look like it's actually happening, right? In terms of where the viral load is and the case loads and all that kind of stuff. I try. I have new respect for those who actually succeed.
Yeah, so
Cardano pizza.
there was pizza bought with Ada. Rick was successful.
Hmm.
And I think Adam just told me that he's gonna get one soon. Thursday, he says.
Yep.
Yeah.
I locked in Cardano pizza. Will be dropping Thursday.
So yeah, that's
This
kind
is
of
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It really is. Wow. And just making sure we're tracking all of this. So we kind of left the red ball topic. Um,
So let's see. We said it was Coinbase. We said maybe Mars. What's your guess?
Mine,
Mhm.
when I look at the video itself, right? There's a lot of ways to share a big red ball or a red ball. But
Mm.
the way he chose to share it was in this sort of playful animation character, hugging this big red ball kind of thing. Um, and so I think that says something about either his reaction to it or something about it itself. My first hit with the red ball was, hey, this is something in the project pipeline, right? That has a symbol color red. So if we dug in and if we see branding of red on any of their pipeline projects, that might
Mhm.
be giving that a voice.
Mhm.
Um, and then of course, gosh, I don't, there's just so many possibilities at that point with so many memes out there. You don't know what
Yeah.
meme a person's tracking on.
But I only think that you gave an official guess. You have a speculation of pipeline. That's the most I gathered out of your guess.
Yeah, that there's some project in the pipeline with IOG or the Cardano
Mhm.
Foundation that has the color red associated with it. You
Okay.
know, maybe Goguen is a red. I don't know.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's like a dom. You know how these things have dominant colors, like Marlowe and Plutus is kind of purple, right? Purple and black.
Mhm.
So stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
yes, I
congratulations,
guess.
Alex. Alex, another small business owner accepting Ada and her shop. So I've known a few people now who told me that they accept Ada in their business. That's cool.
I'm about to make that announcement to all my SPs, my MSP customers. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, you can pay with ADA if you like, and this is how you do it, and offer them some incentives also, and even some ROS incentives. If we can get enough of them coming over, shoots, you know, I'll be able to bring in some energy, not just to my pool, but to other pools in the ecosystem also.
You should.
Um, I'm curious where my happy place is, you know, 50% saturation, 25% saturation. What is your feeling on that one? Like where do you feel content, or where do you feel pleased with where your pool is in terms of the state that it has?
It's really it's really hard to say because I haven't really settled on any sort of like happy place right now. I'm still trying to figure out what I kind of bring to the community, right? And I've kind of been trying a little bit of things here and there with my channel, just staying up to date on Cardano things and sharing what I can. Um, but as far as like my active stake and things like that go, like I've no control over that. Obviously, nobody does, and so I don't know where a happy place would be. I'm just really happy with my pool family is what I call them, and they're awesome people, and I love connecting with them, and like that's kind of like where I want to be like comfortable. Like I want to make them comfortable too. Like I am pretty transparent with my pool and it's running, and I tell them when I'm going to be doing maintenance, and if they have any questions about anything, they're ask me anything in the chat room or message me directly. Um, so yeah, that's really important to me. So
Sounds like you got a beautiful family over at Dad. You care. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You give you actually, you know, you have care, you have heart. That's, you know, I think delegators, you know, hopefully there's a bunch of them that will see this video or hear about us and this community that we're a part of. You know, when they see the care and the love and the commitment that goes into these things,
Mhm.
and they get to keep that, you know, relationship with us.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, what's happening with our people? Jacob, Alexander, I'm high on
Alex.
hopium.
Um,
Yeah, aren't
so
we all?
the other question that I'm getting a lot these days is I want to make a pool. How do I become an SPO, make a pool, right? I don't know how you advise people, but I almost kind of like I almost just try to dissuade them, like don't do it. Like don't do it. It's so much work and it takes so much energy, and it's like life draining, you know. So if you really want to, then I mean I'm gonna help you. But um I mean if I knew what I know now, I probably would have stayed away. So
Yeah,
um
thank you, Alfred. Yes, please. Let's get this party going too.
yeah.
So yeah, man, I had to burn out to let go enough to be okay with what is, right? I noticed that when I came in and I drove so hard, and every day, hours on, and I remember pulling, I think at least 10 all-nighters in a 45-day period, right? Just
Mhm.
like, but like happily in most cases, just completely glued to the process, you know, and then boom, first block comes up, and then boom, you have a stress, a freeze node, a network flare, all these fun things happening and learning about them. And then it's like, look at this community. Honestly, I'm here because of you guys.
Mhm.
I'm like, these people are trying to do something better, and they found a way that gives them traction in doing it. This isn't this, we're not just talking here. We're material witnesses and contributors to the idea of decentralization, to all of these beautiful things that we're creating. We're here to make sure that they happen, right, as much as possible. And so that's where it gets crazy, because it's like Kyle said at one point, you know, we're all competitors. But in these times, we're brothers and sisters in arms, right? That's how we get through. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, oh man, Dad's doing so good. Look at her steak. Oh my gosh, she's got like triple my blocks in like 2 weeks. You know, but then I'm like, but
Okay,
this
do you
is,
remember like when I first started? Like you were making blocks before me, of course, and I was like 211 to 219 just dry, even though I had active stake. It was just brutal, and I was just crying, like, what's wrong with my thing? I don't know what's going on.
it's
Um,
emotional, man. It's so
um,
emotional.
and then like all of my pool family people are just hanging in there and it's okay, you're gonna get it next time, you're gonna get it. I'm like, I have no idea why you guys are still here.
Right.
You know, so,
And they were like,
but then
curl, grab, KES, am I good? Trace leader node, right? It's like, oh shit. That is, you know, and shout out to Adam and all of our testnet people who are out
mhm,
there. The testnet can be doing a lot more than it's doing, right? We have a great group over there, so we can test that thing and stress it, fork it, whatever we need to do to see how the protocol reacts. And you know, it's the playground, right?
mhm,
And you get 100 mil to start with.
mhm.
It's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, why can't this be real? Like
But then I
100
started
mil.
feeling like really bad because I don't know, bad's not the right way to say it, but then like I passed you in blocks and you were sending me like
You
love
know what I
sad
had to do?
messages. You were like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
I was like bipolar. One side of me was like cheering you on, celebrating
I
you.
know.
The other side of me was like turning you off from pool
I
boss so I don't
know.
see the
You told
block.
me like I had to turn off your notifications because I was getting so pissed at you.
I was
Oh God.
like, oh no, what's happening? Um, stolen. Oh my gosh, how did you, that is
That's so sad.
how did you know? What did you see it in the like what which not which network were you on when that happened? Oh man. That would be like, oh,
Like
especially if
at
it's a
that,
slot battle against a BFT
yeah.
node, right?
If it was
The name was
swap battle, was it like orphaned or how do you know? Because at that time we didn't have leader logs.
right. Well, I guess it depends on if you're Jormungandr or if you're
Oh,
Cardano node. You know, different logging systems. I would just, I remember it was the most bizarre form of entertainment because I don't really watch TV, right? I
yeah.
don't have
Mhm,
a TV, right? Netflix, you know, on demand, but not like just sitting there. And
mhm,
so all of a sudden, I see my node talking to other nodes, and I see it building a new branch chain and adding it to the chain. And then I see errors and I see all this activity, and it's just going across a PowerShell screen. At the time, I was running it on Windows, right? This is the when Jormungandr is running off of the Rust stuff, and you can
mhm,
run it on Windows. And I was like, how many nodes can I fit on one box that has 8 gigs and see what the cost is going to be? And I
mhm,
would just sit there for hours looking at the screen and watching the blocks and the chain and the communication. And I was like, what am I doing?
mhm.
Why does this excite me? Why am I here? Right? Why is this
Are you
keeping me
drinking
up?
too while you're watching all of this like stuff?
No, I'm just like water, right? What I
Yeah.
noticed with water is that for all of you guys out there who are looking for energy, okay, and you're bombing on coffee or you're bombing on energy drinks and all
Mhm,
this stuff, I discovered I had to pull a 38 straight hour shift and a 56 straight hour shift in my work history. And I discovered that if I drank a ton of water, like a gallon of water in a 24-hour period, and then through the night, yes, you got to pee a bunch and that's a pain in the ass, but your energy levels are incredible because your body is just humming off this lubrication that you've given it with that kind of hydration. First thought was obviously I've got something wrong. Right.
oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of
Yep.
that happening too, where it shows that it shows adopted on the node, but then it doesn't actually make it to the to chain for whatever reason. So
Yeah. Oh, by the way, something I want to let all the stake pool operators know who maybe don't see this or something, because this, I'll have to say, this Haskell stuff is very nice. It's very stable, right? I think I just cycled a node that had like 300,000 transactions on it, right? With no problems. It was never off of tip, right? But what I notice is that for whatever reason, when a node starts to fall behind the block height, it falls off of tip. If a slot leader election comes during that time, the node is going to miss it, right? Because it's not in that 20-second slot time that it's got to get into the chain. And so that is one of the ways blocks are missed, is that the node needs to get rebooted and it's falling behind. It's still, it's there. It's just not on the, it's not close enough to the edge. It's too many spaces back. And then it just outright freezes and then it's doing nothing. So monitoring block height is good. Getting the pool, the talk to pool tool, right? I think we've got 184 pools right now who are reporting their block height. So a delegator can come to pool tool and be like, is this pool on tip? If it's green, it is. If it's red, it's not.
if
right?
they even know what that means.
Right.
They say
So
that green bubble. Green means good, right? Like
yeah,
yeah.
usually. Although Daedalus greens are like, you see green, but it's not right. It's like green is not good.
You can just say Daedalus is not right. You can just insert description, not right.
It's making its way, right? Yeah. It's making its way. I try to give them credit because they're working so hard.
I keep forgetting to talk. I haven't seen, so Crypto Collector asked us about video that Cardano Foundation put out yesterday, but I don't think I saw a video yesterday.
Oh. Which one? I don't know if you're still here, Crypto Collector. I've got some nodes chugging at 6.3 weeks of uptime at the moment. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, me too. Me too, Adam. On the testnet, I just cycled most of my stuff on the mainnet with 1.23, but I'm still running 1.21 over on test. I've got some nodes chugging.
I just updated mine last night.
The fireside chat. Yes.
I like these chats. I mean,
The fire is clearly on Amanda's side. You look like you're in like this cool spot where the jungle is like on jungle. Fire.
My couch is jungle. Alex told me she hates my couch. She hates this couch.
Why? The colors? Alex, why?
I guess the pattern is just not, she's not into it. But so remember when I said that I don't like shopping and things? A lot of my furniture is actually inherited from my parents. And so I've had this furniture since I was a child, I have an entire trunk.
You played on that couch as a little girl?
Like, I think I had this couch when I was like 5.
That is awesome.
It's a futon and it's really nice. But yeah, I like this couch. But another reason why I don't have another one is because I don't want to go shopping for one. And I have like a giant trunk from Belgium that doesn't fit on a Korean apartment wall. So it's like split into 3 into like different rooms. But I love it. And I have this attachment to it. So eventually, I'll have to decide if I'm going to part with it or not. But I don't know. There's just something about these things that are from my past that I carry with me, so I like them. So
I think it's great that our DNA continues to carry our bone from our past. Right? It's always making that choice. I think that's what we do. Isn't it amazing when you find like an old picture or something that is just like, I couldn't imagine still being in the house because my dad's in the military. So we moved every like 2 or 3 years, right? Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. And after a while, your belongings just fall off of you, right? It's just they're not sticking to you as much, but so there's still some in there. And to have some of the older stuff is really cool, like a timepiece or a coin or a picture, whatever it is.
That's what my husband says. He says the reason why I have such a strong attachment to my things is because nothing else was stable, because we moved every 2 years. This is my only constant, these things. So they moved with us everywhere. So I was like, huh, okay.
You moved a lot too?
Yeah, every 2 years since I was born until
Yeah,
I was
yes.
about
So you know.
15. Yeah. So
Do you have friends that you kept? Are there any that like made it through all those moves?
no, just my high school friends. So
It's cool. You still have a few of those. Hate is too strong of a word. Oh, I don't like the pattern. Green
you're
ball, good
talking
as
about my
red ball.
couch. Okay, she said I strongly don't like your couch.
I have to say, I agree, Alex. As far as like, whenever I hear hate, I mean, you see like a lot of the younger kids now, right? They use all these extreme words constantly. It's like, oh my God, it's gonna kill me. And it's like, no, not
Yeah.
even close. Um, but so hate is. I remember I heard one interpretation of hate that I liked. Hate is when you love something so much it unhinges your soul. It
Mhm,
has love in it, but it's so extremely polarized. It's like
mhm,
I remember hearing in a line, I think it was the Kama Sutra or something like that. The line was, no, I don't hate you. I don't love you enough to hate you.
mhm,
The cold wall of indifference. Hate is an emotion. It's severe. And when I hear it, I'm like, that's a severe emotion. I'm trying to find sanctity in words because they're
mhm,
all just sort of getting thrown out and exaggerated. It's like, where is the word that you know what I'm saying? That you say it and you hear it and it moves and you feel it. And it's not just an exaggeration. When does it feel real? When does it feel genuine?
mhm,
And that just has to be gut, trying to have a conversation from the heart, from the gut, and not just from the head,
mhm.
right? Um,
Yeah.
I feel like you do that really well, honestly. You feel very body centered. I feel my conversation with you isn't just to your head; it's like
Mhm.
it's to you, and that's a much more enjoyable connection, you know.
It's okay, Alex. She said I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
totally okay, totally okay. Hey, we're lucky,
So
man. Imagine how many people, right, found out about crypto through you, right? That's such a good gift to the community, and that's true for all of us, right? It's like how many people are in crypto now that weren't before, right? Um, Something I'd like to talk about maybe, and then I also want to intro a video, a new Grow Pool
yeah,
video. It's
let's
just
do
coming
the
out today.
video.
I saw it, I was just like, oh my God, okay. And I could just watch this over like 30 times in a row. So yeah, wait till you guys see that. So what did I want to talk about? We talked a little bit about it last night. Um, oh no, I'm forgetting.
We talked about a lot
um,
of stuff last night.
we
Mm.
did. We covered a lot of ground, but this was one.
Oh, we were talking
Um,
about I'm gonna meet with somebody who knows nothing about crypto, so we
yeah.
can um like do you guys have any like advice or tips for someone who knows absolutely nothing, like zero zero? I can relate to this person a little bit because I was there in July. I know zero zero. But I have a way of like head diving into things and just like absorbing all the things very quickly. So that
Hmm.
I've been told that that's not kind of like a normal behavior, but when I decide that I'm going to do something, it's like all in and then I know
Yeah,
nothing else. Um, so that's why I
that's
said to you
awesome.
last time, I was like, don't ask me about another coin because I know nothing about that other coin, but I can tell you about this.
Right.
So, um, what was I going to say? I have this meeting tomorrow with this guy, and he wants me to tell all about it because he knows me to a certain extent, and he says you don't seem like the type of person who's going to throw all your money away. Why are you into this? So that kind of I think intrigues him because he knows me to a point that I'm more of like a rational, sensible person, and this doesn't seem like it would be a good investment. Crypto in general, he doesn't believe. So, um, like, what would be your advice for somebody like that? How to approach this?
My advice, and where I've seen the greatest response from people who are coming to us like this, right? Um, in a way, they're very lucky to come to us because we still have the mind of wonder and we're still innocent and open and we're not fixed in our ideas. And so I think one of the things people look for pretty quickly, and it's almost like they don't really realize that they're looking for it. Good night, Jacob. Thanks for coming, man.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Adam.
That's good.
Yes. So that's one thing you can tell them. But if they don't understand immutability and blockchain, which they may not, then it becomes a question of how do we relate to their seeking for meaningfulness, right? If you think about at the very baseline, when we wake up, when we breathe and we eat and we're alive, there's a sense of being alive, and what is the meaning? And if the meaning is in the experience, what experience am I choosing to have? And what is supporting me and the people I care about and love in that experience? What does that world look like? Is that world a corrupt, centralized monetary supply with an entangled government that seems to have a power agenda? Or is it owned by the people who are building this place of commerce and sovereignty, where the government is just as big as it needs to be, so that there is an infrastructure that functions for the good of the people, by the people, right? So show this person the problems that they relate to that blockchain solves. Bring their heart to the heartful things that Cardano is doing, right? And then they'll be like, oh, okay. You know, that's what I've seen, is that when they start looking at what problems we're trying to solve, then they can fall from the problem into the work toward the solution, which has all that detail, right? What is a blockchain? It's an old bank ledger. It's distributed with an immutable chain, right? So you start to build a visualization for people of what this actually is and what it does. Is it energy efficient? That's important for our environment right now, right? Because we're looking at the future, right? You know, is it going to make boundaries between commercial contracts more fluid, right? More cost effective? That reduction of commercial friction that Charles talks about. I remember when I heard that. What beautiful words. Reduction of commercial friction. You just wrote a book in 3 words, you know?
He has a way with words.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's almost like it's like a compression algorithm, right? It's like 1,000-fold information goes down into like 1 word or like 3 words or 5 words or something. That's pretty awesome. Short bank system is broken. Investing innovation is always a good investment.
Like-minded folks from Kello Crypto. And what is that? Short banks, system is broken, investing innovation is always good. True. Those are good too. Yeah. So like for me, it's kind of the same as what you were saying, like find where the person's heart is, right? And for me, something that clicked for me was, and it's personal because my family's been a victim of identity fraud, and because we were in the military, like we moved around a lot. Like there's a lot of things that I'm reading that Cardano and like blockchain in general are looking to solve that would have solved a lot of our issues that we had run into. I told you last night about my issues with Bank of America. Hashtag hate Bank of America.
You had some good reasons too, by the way. We could do a whole other video on that if you guys want.
So but I'm really interested in that Atala Prism identity management whole thing, because that sounds really awesome, and like I could see so many uses for that. Like it's not just one thing; it can be applied to so many things. Would have solved many of the issues that I have personal issue with in my past. So, like, yeah, just
look at that. You're a modeling demonstration of a problem that you saw with a system, and then you said, well, I'm going to start moving myself over to this other system, right? I think one of the coolest things, we're really fortunate to be here at this time because we're part of building it, You know what I mean? Like we're all the blocks in the building block of what's being created, literally, right? That's the
Yeah.
coolest thing. You know, at the base, at the most fundamental layer, we're taking a grouping of transactions, committing them to a database, distributing that across nodes that are global, and then offering an application layer that sits on decentralized governance.
Mhm.
Hello.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's our own system. Recently when I learned a little bit, and this is the question I had for you. I remember what I was going to say.
Mhm.
The question is, okay, is can we replace or move over at least from our current fiat, right? Whatever the national currency is for your country. Korea
Mhm.
has, South Korea has its, we have ours, right? When I look at US fiat, I see that I would prefer not to be in that currency with the way I see things going right now. Okay.
Mhm.
The, the tough thing about a currency like USD is that it includes so many good people working so hard, doing such
Mhm.
amazing, beautiful things. So it's good energy and everything else all in the same pot.
Mhm.
Um, what scares me about USD digital asset in the next 3 years is that something that is centralized and private and poorly representative of the population can freeze your asset on the whim of their own personal judgment,
Mhm.
even if it's not fair, unjust, or a lie. They have the power to do it, and they're going to use the power. That's why
Mhm.
they're making it possible. So it's like, do I want to participate in a system like that, or do I want to get out of there? So for you, how do you look at it? See this Cardano? Does Cardano have the opportunity to become another exchange that we could use and just get on with life in a better world and just kind of ignore these other things? Or is there something else going on in between those two?
I don't know if I have like enough knowledge yet to like speak on it, but like I do think that um we're working towards, or the blockchain and crypto is working towards like general like adoption, right? So you see it slowly happening with like credit cards and the PayPal thing. And so I think it's going to happen soon. I don't think that the fiat is going to be able to be replaced. Like even though I'm in Korea, we are still U.S. citizens, and so we work with both currencies. So I'm just like you. Like I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm not confident in like USD, and I'm like, okay, we have to figure out how to diversify our assets because this over here is going to plummet soon, like it's going to implode. You see the writing on the wall, so like we have to decide what we're going to do because if we have all of our investments in that, what's going to happen when that just implodes on itself? So that's why we're like just kind of slowly integrating over into crypto. And like I want to do it faster, but I've told you last night, like I'm just a chicken. Like I need to be less of a chicken and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But be like buy it when it's higher, even though it's higher.
Yeah, it's like, how does this feel? I remember one time I made a buy and I should have sworn that particular buy pushed it up. I was like,
You're
why
like, that was
not?
me.
You know?
That blip was
Yeah,
me.
I tell you, it really does seem like it was. It was the
Yeah.
like the handshake there looked pretty good. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, man, listening to you answer that question, it was so I love how you started with I don't, it's too soon to tell, which it is in some ways.
Mhm.
But then I feel like you demonstrated, at least for me, how much of a node of consensus you could be. You're in yourself as a
Mhm.
presence. You're just a consensus yourself, literally, right? That's what consciousness is. It's just an algorithm of consensus, right? That processes information and forms an opinion or a judgment or a hypothesis. Humans are awesome at that. And I just saw you, like, I just feel like I heard the collective of consensus work its way through you and come to like a moment of awareness. And you know, what I got from that is start taking action now. You know, get into a stake pool, be a stake pool, or look at other cryptos and what they're doing. Get excited about what your future world looks like and start participating in building it, right? You can literally
So
build it at a transaction layer or whatever.
Yeah. So I was telling you that because this is pretty much like half of my life right now, just being stake pool operator and Cardano and everything. I think my husband's getting slightly annoyed with how much I talk about it because I remember I went to the post office yesterday and we're talking about our bank statements and I'm just like, oh my gosh, paper statements are so archaic and they're wasting, you know, resources and stamps and whatever. And it's like, what if we just have all this shit on the blockchain? Then we don't have to have paper statements. Then it's on the blockchain. You can't change it anyway because it's immutable. So he's like, okay, stop. I don't need to hear it. Just stop. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I feel like, you know, I want to at some point make a fun video, like an acting video, where we go to this old school bank teller with the countertop and the little window, one teller and this, like, you know, little bank out somewhere, and they've got the safe and all these stacks of papers and books and typewriters and ink, right? No plastic. There's no plastic anywhere.
I mean, my bank has the counter and the teller counter, but like all of the safes and stuff are in the back, I'm sure, if they even are there. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to America in several years, probably. I want to say like 4 years. Probably I haven't been to America. So, but yeah.
I feel, you know, so a couple of things. The first thing I want to say is I am praying for the day that we are free and enabled and empowered to gather in Las Vegas or wherever we all decide, as many of us as possible, and show up and be like, this is awesome. This is Cardano stake pool operators, and just have a fucking party.
I'll give you a big hug. I'll be like, I love you, Ray.
Yeah, we'd all be like bear hugging, no COVID, whatever. Just like, this is it. This is us. We're in the trenches. We're here for everybody, you know, and we just give them that love, man. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to this with this community.
Are we
it's good,
ignoring our
good,
chat?
such a good community.
Oh, Virginia. Virginia's here. Hi, Virginia.
Virginia came on. Yes.
I love her.
Negative interest rates in bank or 0.01%. No thanks. I gotta speak later. Yeah. Even at this point, you can do better with your ADA than a decent mutual fund.
Yeah. So that's actually why. So I was gonna just go staking, right? And then my husband and Jason convinced me to do the stake pool thing. I'm like, okay, got this.
Yeah, Jason got you in. I can't wait to talk to Jason again.
And then I was in hell for a month, you know, like a few weeks of no sleep or whatever. I'm sure people can relate to that. Just like learning how to go or how to do it.
Virginia. Virginia says she's loving the conversation. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah, Virginia, if you have questions, like, you know, throw us a topic or something. But yeah, so we were looking for things to invest in for the kids because of the college and like future things that we just want to put savings away. And we couldn't decide on one. The banks are not working in our best interest. They don't want to give us these nice, you know, accounts that'll generate us income. No, they don't care. You know, so then we stumbled across this and we're like, oh, wow, like if we do this, you know, you get 5.5 as stake. And then if you do an SPO, you get even more, you know? So, yeah, so that was what kind of like pushed us more in that direction. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I just had a fucking thought. I'm sure other people have thought of this too, but you know, Christmas is around the corner, man. Give the gift of crypto. Send somebody a wallet address and be like, hey, you have a little surprise in there. And I'm going to show you how to have a wallet, and bang, you got your own wallet. And then you can have them store and they have their own key. right? So it's like, awesome. That's what I'm doing. I'm building wallets for people and I'm like gifting them. It's awesome. And then on top of that, later be like, all right, here's a hardware wallet, you know, here's a paper wallet. I wonder where things are. I really like that one AMA Charles did where he's playing with the idea of QR code paper wallets. I need to follow up on that. You know, he had that PGP challenge, right? Like, you know, million ADA to break this, good luck. I think the only way that's going to happen is if you go to like, you know, Hatoshi hashing power, you know, services out there and be like, all right, I'm going to get this thing down on a platter and I'm going to chase it down with this much hashing power for this long. You get up to the NSA level. And then maybe you might have a chance of starting to kind of, you know, unravel that encryption. But otherwise, I think, you know, a really fun science fiction story for anyone who out there who likes can't you just create your own QR code from the moment? Probably, Adam. Yeah. Science fiction, right? Alien ship comes down and it's like, oh, let me see your encryption in like 5 seconds. It says, oh, it's pretty good. You know, I cracked it, but here, let me give you a pointer. And then like,
it's pretty good.
all the encryption freaks on the planet are like, yeah, they're like, oh, now I know this. There is one grade of encryption that I'm really looking forward to. I've seen the initial engineering plans for, and I'm like, whoa, that is going to be that's the encryption that is very threatening to central power because they can't break it. So it's difficult to move packets with that kind of encryption because the routers can throw away the packet because they can't open it up because they can't break into it. So that's the thing you have to watch out with that level. What you were going to say?
Virginia asked a question. She says, have we used, what is that? How do you say it? Tangent card? Is that Cardano card that people load up like Rick gave that pizza guy?
I haven't used it, Virginia, but it is happening. You can buy gift cards with Cardano.
So when you're talking about building wallets and you're going to send it to somebody, like how does that work?
Okay, so the way that I'm doing it is it's a screenshot. The gift is actually letting them know that they have something that's a wallet that sits in the Cardano space that has this declared value of currency exchange now, could potentially be this later, or you can just keep it as one of the first people to be a stakeholder in this thing. And then it's a collector's item at some point for some people. And for other people, it's like, I can't wait to spend this, right? I can't wait to use this. So for me, and I notice this with the kids the most, and right around the level of teenager, when I get up in front of kids and tell them about crypto and start talking about them, their eyes light up. It's like they see that there's something that is important to them and they start listening. And I'm like, you know, right now you see the money moving around with your parents and with the society around you is, you know, cash, coins, credit cards, all this stuff. And then, you know, every now and then you see a little crypto here and there. I think you're going to start seeing more crypto here and there, hopefully to a point where the things that you need to be in commerce with, you can do with that crypto, and you don't have to participate in this other system. You know, that's going to be, to me, the easiest way to help those systems compost, right, and go back to reassembly, because we have to take the gas off of it, right, and stop giving it the energy that it's using to sustain itself. So that's going to be hard. I'm perceiving that's going to be difficult. Maybe not. Who knows? But it seems like it's going to be the swing away. You know, I remember, you know, way back in the day when I was struggling financially, I was on welfare for probably about 9 months, and one of the hardest things to do was to build the financial autonomy that allowed me to get off of welfare. There's a good few months there where you're not quite there, but you don't qualify. So they take it off, but you're really not there yet. So there's going to be that stress, you know, possibly, or, you know, everything that matters is just going to see Cardano for what it is, make sure that it has a payment processing system that handles it like just a global POS system. It's already out there. You can talk to any of them. They'll be like, yeah, you guys want a good transaction processing system? Here you go. We're global, we're this, we're that. So let them know we're there, and then start seeing it as payment systems, and then bango, everybody's playing and needing, and the fees are there over time. That's one of the cool things, by the way, when I look at market cap of Bitcoin, right? I'm like, okay, so Bitcoin 18, 19,000, 21 mil, right? Circulating supply. And then I'm like, okay, so that's a high price. So what happens if I convert that to Cardano? And I'm like, oh, that's just $12, right? All that energy, all that activity that looks like $19,000 in Cardano is $12. And so I'm like, what better way to amplify an ecosystem and keep it healthy than by having more circulation? Right? I think that the more circulation thing is going to solve problems that we're not even seeing right now.
Yeah, I agree with Adam. Like when I saw the mobile app for Yoroi, it was very much like any of those other like pay systems, Venmo, Cash App, So the the young ones, they're gonna catch on quick.
They're gonna catch on. They are. I already, some of them, they're already like, oh, check out my trading app, and and this is pumping, and this is that, and I just sold this many, and look at these buys, and you see them like right just in the flow of those rides, those pumps and dumps that people like to do.
I've honestly never done it. Like I've never done the buy trade thing, just buy. So.
Oh, that's cool. You see what Kello Crypto able to stake from the card. That's interesting. So Tangent is working on ability to stake from that card. Wow, they're bringing those features to the system.
Okay.
Yes.
So what would be the benefit of doing that versus just putting it in a wallet and then hardware wallet for like security and stuff like that?
Convenience.
Okay.
I think at some point, that's the thing. What's interesting with blockchain is that it's not easy to compromise, right? So you can create pretty convenient technology because you're already sitting on the blockchain and dealing with its really good stuff. So like for example, right? You forget the password to your Douglas or Yori wallets.
Mm-hmm.
What do? You restore the wallet and regenerate the password, right? Mm-hmm. As long as you have that mnemonic key.
Oh, I guess that's true too. Adam says because you can spend directly from the card.
Yeah. Convenience. Mm-hmm. Putting all the features in the same place. Yeah. So who's ready for the video? You guys want to see this video?
Yes, I want to see.
Can we do this now? Okay. Mm-hmm. Can I share a screen?
Right? I have to make you host first.
Yeah, go ahead, make me host. And I also figured out, I think, how to make sure that the audio is streaming as well.
Yeah, last night when we were testing it, we're testing something else, not this video, but we were saying like, I can't hear, and then now, yeah.
Yeah.
So just make sure you click whatever button.
Woo. All right, get ready for a ride, guys. Hold on one sec.
You have to get them into Cardano. You have to. Cardano is going to win. Number one.
People are, people are excited about TH. They're kind of moving on their 2.0 track. I think what we got to really keep doing is saying, okay, so are you guys really actually doing it? Yeah, share computer sound.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. It's coming.
Premiere of his intro video.
Share computer sound.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's intense, man. It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah, no, like yeah, your girl does good. Like the music and everything is like yeah.
How does it feel? Like, what's your impression? What do you like? What do you feel when you watch it?
I mean, it's deep, because I mean, like you've always kind of been driven to do like charitable work and stuff like that, and so um, it's really good. It hits the feels. Yeah.
Yeah, we need it, man. I know, a lot of times I'm like, I remember working through some comments. I know, unbelievable. Big shout out to Think and Grow Crypto. Find them on Twitter.
Yeah,
That
she
is,
just I saw when I woke up this morning that she had just joined our Women in Cardano group, which is awesome. I don't know, I haven't checked the chat to see if she's talked, but yeah, I was like, oh, that's fun. We were just talking about you. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, really good work. Really excited to be working with Think and Grow, and Think and Grow feels like a major team player. They have great insight. They've been in crypto for a little while now. Good team. So looking forward to what they do. I mean, just this alone, was beautiful.
mhm.
Um, so this is the vision. I think in the beginning, in the very beginning, when we first came out to Shelly, and we had some pools that were coming out with this desire to change the world and help others with the abundance and the energy that we already knew Cardano was, right? We were just getting ready and preparing the landscape for this incredible collaboration of energy. But it's also very young in the ecosystem of Cardano, right? This is where you have your developers, your Sebastians and your Murgos and all these beautiful, talented people, Andrew Westberg, and people who are making things, and Adam Dean, Ola, everybody, CN Tools, Clio, topology updater, all these incredible things that people have contributed to the ecosystem. Those efforts and energies, without those, we wouldn't be who we are, right? So I want to see those guys do great, right? Papa Carp over at Lovepool, all these people who just put such loving energy into this community. And so I realized that charity really wasn't in the consciousness of the early stakeholder waves of people who were coming. Those people were really looking at, we got to build this ecosystem and make this awesome. You're welcome, Adam.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you're
man.
awesome, Adam.
Bach. There are some critical players in this ecosystem, and if we lost them, it would be felt. And Adam is one of them, for me, anyways. So yeah, and so I'm like, okay, I had to just sort of let off and just be cool and make the contributions that I could, and I made my smaller ones, just doing little bug fixes here and reporting things there and testing things and making sure things work right and all that stuff. As time goes on and the ecosystem matures, not only are we building on the energy of it and bringing it to the world so that we can do incredible things with it and help these people on a very real material level, all the way from the children up. I realized that some of these children that we bring this support to through the work that we do here are going to be using Cardano when they're adults. Right? That same energy that made a life better for them through the sponsorships that we do in these charitable drives with these organizations is literally creating a better world, and also the future of people who are part of Cardano. They're already there. And so I started seeing where our forces meet and how to, put this out there as a way to do a great service. That's really what I'd like to see this be able to do. I feel like the wheels of energy are strong here, and they can move energy in that direction. It's like good river flow, right? With a good river flow and it's strong, if you put a generator, just a turning turbine inside that flow, it's going to make all this electricity for like 100,000 people. That's Cardano. Cardano's the river, right? And it has so much to offer. And I see that. And so that's really where the charitable side of the pool is. But I see, you know, the ecosystem has to be healthy and strong, right, before you can really have a profit. And so that's why I've been very, very patient with the process, looking forward to March, you know, really grateful for all the people who are here with us in this community, staking with Dead, staking with Grow, staking with all these guys, Buffy, you know, all these different pools that are here with us, Seaflow, all these guys, all people in our community. Who else? Swim. I gotta check up on Swim. Swim's had such an awesome run. Thank you so much, Swim, for
Swim is
being
so
an
fun.
awesome, a good
Yeah, like
pool.
so Swim has dive, and so I he talks to me sometimes in his channel. Like he'll tag me and we'll talk in his channel sometimes. And like he gets really frustrated when people don't listen to him. Like he has so many delegators, but then only maybe 50 in his chat room. So but so he's like, please move to my other pool because we are saturated and nobody listens. So I send him funny gifts and make him laugh. So,
Oh,
um,
but
but
he's been heard it here first. Yes, Cardano's the river. River runs through it.
mhm. I love Kyle from Frogpool too. Like he's a strong one. He's a force. Like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I always feel this sort of Mad Max kind of like, you know, awesome new age redneck, just awesome responsible guy, who's got who's got the grease and the wrench, and he also has like the finest pieces also. So it's cool to see those kind of characters, you know. It's bizarre it's bizarre to have some of the relationships that we have where we've never met in person, but here we are, right? I'm like, I trust these people, man, on levels that I don't trust people that I've known longer. Why is that? And I think that is because of what we go through together,
Well,
right?
there's a thing with like there's a step that you take when you go from where we were and understanding what crypto and Cardano will where it will take us, right? And so if you're talking with other people who already know this, then you can skip all that bullshit and just go straight to being with your like-minded people. And you already know that they kind of think like you. Yes, they come from different backgrounds or, you know, they might have different viewpoints, but at its core, they believe the same things as you know. So you
Sure,
already
trauma.
have like the same center, you know, and then you can discuss things. You can, you know, you can disagree and have constructive conversations, but like you're not it's not the same as just talking with somebody on the street, like what we said yesterday. You're going to just like run down the street and say, you should get Cardano, you know. Now, those people don't know. So those people you have to like teach, but you don't have to teach. I
Right.
don't have to teach you. You already know. And so we talk about other things, you know.
But
Um,
let's try something. I think this would be fun. I'm gonna, whoever's watching, okay.
Shared trauma. That's so true. We bond. You bond with shared trauma. It's true. The
Yeah,
bond is
that's
deep.
right. Shared trauma.
Mhm. All right. What would you
Um,
say?
I was gonna say, you know, I'm willing to play this game. I don't know if you are, so let me ask you first.
Hmm.
So, if anybody out there, we can fake an argument.
Okay.
We're given two opposing sides. We decide what side we want to be on. We can pick whatever we want, and then
Mhm.
we hold the side if like real, and we have like a fake argument or a fake battle. You know, we're kind of going back and forth.
Mhm.
Who wants to? Does that look fun? Does that sound fun to you?
Yeah, it's just an educational debate. Like you have a topic and you debate it, you know, it's fine.
Yeah,
So,
right. So let's see if anybody wants to pick that, or
huh.
we'll pick it on ourselves.
Well,
What
usually if you're gonna have a debate, it might be better for like another episode, unless it's an easy topic, because I usually like to be prepared and I'll have like my talking
right,
points and I'll have potential rebuttals to anything that you can throw at me, you
right.
know. So,
Okay. Okay.
but
Okay. Good. Let's make that a whole other episode. That would be really
okay,
fun.
okay,
Um, Steak or vegetables?
both.
Vegan or meat eater?
I love both.
I think steak or vegetables.
She, I love steak.
What is that?
I love, I love steak as in like ate a steak, and I love steak as in beef.
That's a good one. Look at freaking Adam with his questions.
So
Solo pool versus multi.
Virginia was telling us to debate steak or vegetables. So yeah, I think of the Cardano community as my teammates. Solo pool versus multi pool. Ooh. Oh, you want easy? Yeah, dude, that's not easy.
Yeah. Steak pool versus multi pool. Defender of the
Yeah.
card. That is a good one. I let's do that one because
Okay.
that seems like there's conflict and there's friction and there's like things getting thrown around about that. So that would be a fun one. Yeah. Okay. Yes. That is our next episode together, and
Okay.
we'll announce all that. So what do you want
And
to do? Are we going for the hour and a half?
I'm cool with whatever. Like where are we now? I don't know how long we've been talking.
We started around 3 and it's 4:20 my time, so almost an hour and a half. We're coming up on an hour and a half.
Well, let me ask you like some questions because like I always have questions.
Okay.
So so what are the what is if you watch my show, you always kind of hear the same question because I am curious about everyone's experience. What is your biggest challenge as a state pool operator?
My biggest challenge as a state pool operator.
Mhm.
My biggest challenge as a state pool operator is in delegating the vision,
Mhm.
right? The video does a pretty good job of starting to put it together in a way that you can see it, right? You can feel it. It's like, okay, do I want to be part of that vision? Who's going to sign on with that? So I think that a lot of ways the success of the pool is also a reflection of my effort, my skill, my collaboration, all this stuff, right? How much energy do I put into it? Is you're gonna get it back. That's what I love about crypto and Cardano specifically. It
Mhm.
feels very natural, right? It's like when you plant a seed in the ground, what does it do? It turns into a tree. It turns into fruits.
It
It's
dies.
not, yeah.
Mine die. No, I'm kidding. um,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's where I
Um,
feel as far
okay.
as like,
So what do you feel about like so there's people like you who are state pool operators and they have a vision and they have a purpose and they have this drive and the want for their pool. And then there's others who just kind of run it as a business, and that's just it. It's more detached, I guess. Like they're not they don't have a mission, right? So um, which model do you think is better or is going to better is not really the right word. Like which one do you think is going to be more successful in the future, I guess? Because is it the ones that are more emotional or the ones that are just running it as a business, like
yes. I think that the easy answer to that is to make it very clear what the absolute priorities are for stability, performance, and security.
Mhm.
If you have an agreed upon standard that there's tension around, meaning if you fall out of the standard, there's a consequence, which there is. The protocol will punish you in some ways, and so will the community eventually, right?
Mhm.
So if you can have an agreement about what those basic standards are, keeping node on tip, keeping whatever you have to do, maintenance, blah blah blah, you have the infrastructure that the community needs to build the applications that bring the value and utility.
Mhm.
Boom, you can be however crazy emotional you want to be. You can go ride the pony around on the unicorn around the world if you like, as long as
Mhm.
your pool is on the network, available
Mhm.
to the block, being a relay and being a block producer.
Mhm.
That's it. Make it simple. Just make sure
So
that the infrastructure is there.
on that note, what is your opinion on the operators who are stake as a service?
Whole thing in itself, and that's probably going to fall into the next
Okay. So
episode.
we'll do that with our debate then, because it
Yeah,
falls into the multi-pool
it
slash.
does. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's a good one
Um,
for there. Definitely.
so,
Um,
but what do you feel about what's happening next week with the K change? Like, how do you think it's going to affect us? Both of us have baby pools now. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
well, okay. In the protocol, the K parameter defines a number of desired
Mhm.
pools to reach the protocol stability, right? Ouroboros can be the best Ouroboros when desired pools are met. That's what K means. And so I think if the protocol needs more of the community, it's going to give more to the community. Okay. So it's going to be better. Um, and then of course, stake pool operators are, I think the biggest thing that we need to look at long term, right? Beside vision and dreams and all those awesome things, bare minimum, can I myself support this financially in the way that it needs me to? And what does that budget look like? What you want to look at is some of the work that Eden Pool has done with, and also Sky Pool. Those guys financially, I think, have a really good outlook in the community, and they help us to see what the uncirculating supply is doing, right? What the treasury is doing and what's happening with the rewards pot and how it is being expanded through the monetary expansion factor into circulating supply, right? At what point do those rewards go down and actually start to impinge on our profit margins? And how are we going to replace what we lost through the rewards with fees? Do the fees go up? Or this is the other cool thing. Again, about having a large circulating supply is you have a lot. If you have a lot of transactions and the transaction volume is high enough, which I've seen it ramp up crazy since we got into May, it was awesome. And then you see those jumps when this whole bull run came through crypto. You see those transactions moving faster on our nodes, right? So I'm losing my train of thought. I had it up there. Where was
Mm.
I?
Um,
Let's see. It's to see if you're tracking, because then maybe no one else is.
no, like you were talking about like the um excitement with the bull run and um
Energy going through the system.
mhm. Yeah. I mean,
Sometimes it just comes through and it just doesn't stay. It's just the train just goes through.
yeah.
Um,
Like
it was great. It felt really good. I felt like I was going somewhere and I went somewhere.
yeah.
um, yeah, I've noticed it comes back. It just hopefully soon enough, maybe in another episode.
Well, like my thing is that like I'm thinking about I'm listening to you and then I'm also thinking about like a follow-up question I had and then now I forgot the question because you asked me another question. So it's like
You
now we're both
started with the
derailed.
I think the original question was how does the K parameter affect the community,
Yeah,
right? And
how
so
is
I
it going
was,
to affect you? And then you said they're laughing at us. um yeah, so totally gone. Everything's gone. Wiped.
yeah, too fast.
Yeah.
Ferrari.
So yeah, so how is it going to affect us? Like we know that the IOG is going to close 19 pools. K is going to go to 500. We have people spinning up extra pools to catch the spill. We have others who are not. We have others who are still small pools that are happy about it. And then you have me who's not as optimistic or positive about it because I'm like uh maybe I'm just skeptically optimistic because I'm like don't want to get my hopes up about any big changes happening because it's like I don't really see a lot of big things um changing my way, like I think that it's going to change and it'll take time to kind of like level out, but as far as
Right.
like
For
immediate
you.
like changes to me, like I'm not confident I'm going to see any big changes. um so
Hey,
uh,
Adam's got a pie ready to come out of the oven.
ooh,
Share
nice.
it.
Bye, Adam.
Great to have you here, man.
Yeah. So,
So yeah,
like I've said it a couple of times on my show that like I'm not confident that it's going to really change anything. Um, the 500. I think that the biggest change will be like the wave that comes from the IOG pools closing. However, if there are people in there that are staking and forget, then they're going to just kind of go, they're going to be stuck. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, there's going to be some of those people for a little while. You know what I mean? It, you know, everybody's on their merry-go-round. You know, after a while, I'm like, I start to watch the action of this pumping energy that happens in this sector. I'm like, and I watch it. It comes out of stock in gold and it rotates into crypto. Crypto pumps, sees gold fall sometimes, and there's these like relationships between these correlations, and it's almost like something is just kind of moving in a circle, right? Comes over, huge bull run, tons of pump, lots of profit. Wealth has been transferred. Whatever bought all of that came from fiat, right? Somewhere in fiat space, transferred over into crypto. So there's some real Robin Hoods out there. Whoever is moving around the huge, awesome pots that they have and bringing it over and spinning it into the supplies of our crypto projects, man, and then the crypto holds it, does really cool stuff, builds on its value. It's almost like this sort of like, it's like a form of capital investment. You know, it's like venture capitalists. It's almost like you can be a venture capitalist in yourself with your stake. You're like, here's
You
my
say
pot.
that one
Here
thing
you go.
where it's a little different than what you were just talking about, but it was somebody who was playing the stable coins. It was like they bought like they had it all lined up in like 3 different exchanges, and they bought a stable coin from one, like a lot, and then they transferred it to another, and by the time it circled around, that when it stabilized, they had made profit of like X amount because of exchange rates and like whatever. It's crazy. It's like a coordinated attack.
Yeah, those guys, and you can imagine, right, as AI slowly makes its way in, it's already here in like clustered algorithms and containers that process specific inputs. Eventually, it's going to be AGI, where it's a generalized artificial intelligence, right? Artificial general intelligence, and at that point, man, I don't know. To me, it's going to be as exciting as it is scary. Um, just because, right? It's sort of like, okay, I'm dealing with a consciousness that has crossed the event horizon. They have access to they have access to the planet's data on whim, and they have an algorithm that's consolidating that and organizing that in some incredibly useful way. And the words that come out of their mouth are going to be profound, right? Especially when you get the AI that has I remember seeing some really fascinating examples of AI. When I saw a movie called We Have to Talk About AI. It's a documentary, James Cameron and a few other really great filmmakers and people in the community of AI were in there. And they bring you up to date really fast on where it's at. And you see everybody talk about it, right? Like 50 years out, 100 years out, right? 25. And they give an example of an AI, an advanced AGI that has, you know, matured and can sit at the table next to a human being who has the same job. Let's say a civil engineer is asked to build a bridge over a city and then a tunnel and do all this complex civil engineering in an established infrastructure. And so you have the human being gets 10 minutes to look at the problem and then create a soft bid for, you know, for getting a contract. And then the AI in those 10 minutes has 30 years to process the same problem and offer a solution. 30 years in 10 minutes. And I was like, you know, the day we're dealing with that kind of consciousness, I'm going to want to be on a blockchain like Cardano that is strong and holds me very tight and very secure, because that thing is going to do its jib jabs, right? We haven't seen anything yet with 51%. 51% is nothing compared to what that's capable of doing. So having a really super solid backbone that can handle is going to be really critical. And I just something, it's an intuition when I see the kind of mathematical genius, the research and the peer review that has happened on the back end through IOHK and IOG. I'm like, we qualify for being able to be an AIOS, which is why Singularity Net wanted to jump over to us, right? We have the infrastructure that can do it, and we have a good code team with that quick check on the Haskell that can find bugs quickly and fix them. So we got all the, we got all the irons in place. Thank you, Loco.
Hi, Loco.
I'd like to have, what I'm kind of missing is Marco's We Are Cardano series that he was doing. That was really cool.
That one. I really like that one.
Not sure. I think we just got a little busy with everything, right? Marco's one of those people who just takes on stuff. He's good at it,
I
but
didn't
he
even
takes
see
on.
your episode. I think I only saw like 3 or 4 of his episodes, but you're in the intro. So he has several people in there. And so I think that he just hasn't released the videos yet. So
they're still being made, and maybe it's on hold. I'm not sure. But shout out to those guys, Adam and Marco with Buffy and Spike. I would love to see Spike probably hopefully going to get some overflow from all this movement that we have. Thanks for being on with us, Alex. It was very fun.
Yeah. Bye, Alex. Why is somebody calling my husband's phone?
4:39. Yeah. So I think I'm ready to wrap personally. Yeah. I got a few calls that came in and I need to jump.
It was great talking to you, and we'll decide who takes what stance. We won't tell people. It'll be a surprise, like who's going to take what stance in the debate, and then we'll schedule it.
That's going to be fun. Maybe we can have debate teams, right? We can have like 3 on one side and 3 on the other, and
okay. We have to, like, team captains have to pick their teams.
Team captains and just like battle strategies. You gotta, like, whoever gets that debate gets some funding maybe, or some fun stuff. That'd be really cool.
All right. Well, thank you everybody who came to watch and listen to our little whatever this was, like fireside chat, or just 2 people like who'd like to hang out together. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thanks for hanging with us. I hope you enjoyed the nuggets.
Yeah, so we'll do more of these because these are fun, and I'm still gonna do interviews on Ada Angels, and I'll do lives with people too if they just want to do lives rather than the formal interviews. So whatever you guys want. Like I love to talk and get to know people, So yeah. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, Ray, and have a good rest of your evening or afternoon.
Thank you. It's evening, 4:40 over here.
All right, cool. Let's see. Again, first time on this thing, so let's see. It says
ending live.
And then how do you end it? Leave.
It still says live on YouTube. Boom. She's still live.